guys, Technivorous here. Today I'm going to be showing you some under-extruded models. We'll be comparing the under-extruded version to the properly printed version, and I will help teach you how to diagnose the symptoms of under-extrusion due to either a clogged nozzle or a lackluster extruder itself. Stay tuned. Alright, so we're back again. As you can see, I've made a couple of changes. Please forgive my mess. I'm in the middle of making some upgrades to my studio slash lab slash bedroom at the moment. We will get out of here eventually. I am clearing a space at the other end of my house. I just haven't really had the time to finish it up. We're working on it, so stay tuned for those changes. Today we're going to be going over how to tell if your printer is under extruding or not. And what brought me to this video is I've had under extrusion problems before. I've had several clogs. It happens, especially if you change quite often, like I do between PETG, ABS, which I don't use often, but has been thrown in there and stuff like that. Different temperatures, not properly extruding what's left in there at the right temperature, or even this here is actually a infused filament. These guys are 3D Fuel and they're amazing filament, so I'm not knocking them, but sometimes the infused stuff, because I'm using a 0.4mm nozzle, can clog the nozzle. So the particulates that are in it are the cause of that. One easy way to tell if you're getting under extrusion is if you look here, you can see that my layer lines that are going down there are not quite, all the lines in this layer, they're not quite touching each other. So they're not getting the spread that we need and the adhesion to each other, which tells me that I am extruding, but I am under extruding because I'm not getting the width of my nozzle. So I can show you a good print of this with this coffee filament that was done. Excuse me. This is after I cleaned out the nozzle, and I actually changed the nozzle and cleaned the tube. If you want to see how to clean your Ender 3 or any 3D printer hot-end basically, I will put a link to that video right here for you. But this video is all about diagnosing the problem. Another easy symptom to diagnose under extrusion. I printed this guy while it was under extruding as well, and I printed a couple on purpose so I could come back and print good ones and you could see the difference. You'll see separation in the actual outer shell here. It's not bonding those layers together because it's not putting down enough to squish it over and basically iron them together. Other symptoms on this one would be the graininess of the laydown there. I know it's kind of hard to see when I'm showing to the camera. I will throw some pictures up here in the corner. Let me show you first a picture of the under extruded coffee. That's this guy. If you look close, like I said, you can see gaps in the lines. And then I'll show you the copper coin as well, and that's going to be this one. This one, look closely around the rim, the edges. You can see that it's separated there. More importantly in this one, if you look at the side, there's obvious layer separation, and when I get to here, bam, look at that. That looks like a chunk of coffee. It totally is. I hoped that after seeing that, the rest of the print would come out all right, that it had pushed out the clog itself. But you know, you can hope in one hand and poop in the other, I guess, right? See which one fills up faster. So you'll notice after that, and in the picture up here as well, the layers do get better after that clog came out, but there was still something in there, and I could tell because of the next print I did, and that was in this beautiful purple PLA I used from Color Me Purple, or Color Me 3D, excuse me. You can color me purple if you want to, I guess. This is not as obvious at first glance, but I've printed so much of this that I know it's supposed to be a little bit shinier than that, a little bit smoother than that. This PLA is PLA and it prints at 250 degrees and it comes out pretty dang smooth. So one of the symptoms I wanted to point out to you on this one that let me know I was still under extruding is if you look at the back, I don't know if you can see that or not, I'll put a picture up here of that as well. These lines, these white striations through here tip you off that it's under extruding, because those are thin spots in the plastic where it was putting out little particles and not a consistent line. Now, they join together, but only because that bottom shell is about 3 or 4 layers thick. So it put down enough particles in random places to somewhat make a bottom, but it's flimsy. You can almost feel the difference when you touch it, that it's more insubstantial. I'll show you real quick the good coin that I printed after cleaning my nozzle out again. That's this guy. This one is nice and shiny, nice and smooth. There is, because of the super high temperature, a little bit of stringing in between the letters, but really no more than usual, and it's a tolerable amount for post-processing. It's not like it would take me long to clean it up. I really don't clean up these coins. They're printed to see how well a particular filament does. The settings don't ever change except basically the temperature, so it's a good comparison for one filament to the next. Now, as far as fixing the under extrusion problem, like I said, I included the link to the video a few minutes ago, and I'll put that link in the description down below as well. Basically, you're going to want to clean your nozzle and maintain your hot end. It's one of those things where if you don't do it regularly, you start to get more and more buildup in there. The nice thing about switching filaments is that you are generally pushing enough of the old stuff out of there that your tube doesn't, and it's constantly heating, so it's not congealing to the side in there. Well, like I said, one of the caveats with changing filaments is if I go from this PLA, which prints at 250, I extrude a little and then yank it while my end is hot, and then I feed my next filament in, and my next filament prints at 220. I need to keep it at 250 until I see that next filament coming out, and then drop the temperature down. Because if I just reload the filament and then turn my printer off and walk away, when I come back and try to print at the lower temperature of the filament that's in the Bowden tube, it's not quite going to be hot enough to push out the remaining filament from the last time I printed. So there's going to be a jam at the hot end of stuff that needs to be 250 to come out, and I'm only at 220, so it's obviously not going to move. And that can lead to problems, that can lead to clogs, even a tiny bit of that not coming out of there. In fact, often when I change my filament and I extrude, I make sure I get a good couple of millimeters at least of pure color, not a color blend or anything like that. And I want to make sure there isn't any spotting or flecks of the old filament coming out in there, because sometimes that can happen. And if you don't get it all the way clear, those can build up as well, depending on what filaments you're switching back and forth between. So this has basically been a quick how-to video on diagnosing your under-extruding problems. If your extruder is making a knocking noise, odds are you have a jam in your hot end. And the reason it does this is because it's pushing and pushing as hard as it can, and it does what they call skipping or hopping, where it'll try to push and it'll meet its resistance point where it can push no harder, and the tensile strength of the filament will actually bounce the filament back through the gears. It's not going to damage your extruder immediately, but it's not good for it in the long term, especially because it'll wear down the teeth on the gears. It'll grind the filament itself and lead to a lot of dust in your extruder, which can then be dragged into the Bowden tube and cause all sorts of problems in the Bowden tube, or possibly, if it's a different kind of filament, cause problems in your hot end. So when your extruder starts knocking, the first thing you need to do is check and make sure you don't have a clog. You won't see it in the video that I put up, but another easy way to check for a clog if you're trying to extrude and nothing is coming out, obviously first make sure the hot end is hot or nothing will come out. But the Ender 3 in particular comes with a little, it looks like an acupuncture needle, and it's attached to a piece of styrofoam. If you pull that out, it fits in the nozzle about perfectly, and a couple of primes up and down and then yanking it out. Try to extrude a little. You might notice it's working. You might notice it's working slightly better than it was before. If that's the case, do it again. If nothing comes out, then the clog is going to be further up your hot end. Now, you're not going to be able to shove that acupuncture needle past where the plastic is actually melting. So once you get past the heat break and into the heat sink, whose job it is to cool and dissipate that heat, the plastic in the Bowden tube isn't quite melted, so your needle will stop because it's hitting hard plastic. There is, you can take it out and hold it up against the front of the hot end, and if it looks like it's clearing the heat block and the heat break, and making it into the heat sink, then you're definitely not having a problem with your nozzle. The problem is probably in the heatsink itself. If you can't even get it up into the nozzle is likely clogged, and you might need to change a nozzle. You can get sets of 10 nozzles for pretty cheap, and you can also get multiple sizes. So the important thing with putting a new nozzle on is I always like to leave my extruder attached, or my hot end attached, excuse me, and I leave it attached simply because I don't want to loosen the heat break from its seated position. Now, if you're completely reassembling a hot end, you're going to want to make sure that the heat break and the nozzle are touching each other inside the tube. Otherwise, molten plastic will leak out and start leaking out all over your hot end. And I've had this happen. I've seen it happen several times, and it's a mess. It's relatively easy to clean up, but you kind of have to do it while the hot end is hot, and that can be dangerous. So my best advice is, if you have a clog, heat the hot end, take the nozzle off, pull the Bowden tube out of the top of the hot end. Maybe do that before it's hot. I don't know, you might want to heat it up because you have to pull the filament. You're going to want to back the filament out before you pull the Bowden tube. Otherwise, you're just going to have filament and no tube. Basically, once you have that clear of the nozzle, you're going to see in the video that I take an Allen wrench and I stick it down in there. A lot of times, that will push out a chunk of nasty, molten, black, burnt, carbonized stuff, and that's your clog. So yeah, definitely take a look at how to unclog your Ender 3. In that video, I also include how to do a little maintenance on the hot end and clean the fan on the hot end. Mine collects quite a bit of dust and it gets gross, so if you'd like to know how to do that, that's in there as well. That's going to be it for this video, guys. I appreciate you watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for future updates, hit the notification button, and we'll send you a notification as soon as we put a new video out. Don't forget to tell a friend, and absolutely follow me on Twitter, on Instagram. Check out my Patreon site. All of those links are on the main page. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys.